People Busters!
My name's Heather. I'm 36 years old and a homemaker. Since getting married to my husband Aaron, we've been living in the countryside near Aaron's family's home. We have a daughter, her name's Mary, and she's 5 years old. Near our place, there aren't many daycares or kindergartens, so we're looking after her at home until she starts elementary school. Aaron's family owns a huge farm, and sometimes Mary and I even help with some of the farming responsibilities.
Darling, thanks for helping out today too.
No worries at all, honey. I enjoy moving around and helping out on the farm. I love being out here on the farm too!
Thank you, Heather and Mary, for always helping us out.
Truly, I'm so glad to have such a great family, Aaron. Sometimes living in the countryside can be a little inconvenient, but the air out here is fresher than in the city, and I get to eat all the freshest vegetables I want. I'm enjoying living in the countryside. Oh, someone's at the door. Nice to meet you, neighbor. I just moved in. My name's Sarah. Oh, hello. Nice to meet you, too. My name's Heather. Wow, not that many people come out to live out here. And she seems like she's around the same age as me. I'm happy we might get to be friends. Isn't the air great out here? And there's so much nature. Isn't it just the perfect place for the Aloha's lifestyle? I'm sorry, what does that mean? Aloha's lifestyle revolves around health and sustainability. Oh, I see. That sounds great. I've always wanted to try the Aloha's lifestyle. Living in nature and eating the food I make. Isn't that truly the lifestyle that we as humans should be striving for? I guess so. It's become quite popular recently for people to move out to the countryside. More people want to be sustainable. Oh, I haven't heard of anyone moving out here for that reason yet. Mom, who is this? Hello! Oh my, well aren't you just adorable? Is she your daughter, Heather? Yes, this is my daughter, Mary. Nice to meet you, Mary. I also have a daughter. You two seem to be quite close in age. I hope you two can become good friends. That would be great. Maybe next time we see each other, you could bring your daughter too. Yes, that sounds great. Well, I'll be off then. Yeah, her name's Sarah. That's true, she didn't bring anything. But I'm guessing she doesn't know much about our customs out here. I'll do my best to let her know about how things are done out here. Okay, we get it, Erin. No need to keep dissing her. Do you only ever think about carbs? Mom, I want to eat bread for lunch. That's a good idea, Mary. Let's have some bread for lunch today. Sarah didn't leave the most perfect impression on us, but overall, I was more than happy that another mom my age had moved in close to us. I really wanted us to become good friends. Coming! Oh, hi, Sarah. Hi, Heather. Actually, I was just hoping that you might show me around this neighborhood. After all, I'm new here and I don't really know what's where. Of course, let's get going then. Are there cafes around here? Cafes? As you can see, there are only mountains, rivers, and farms here. Really? I thought there would have been cafes that served organic vegetable dishes around here. What about herb gardens? We don't have any of those either. People out here probably don't exactly know what that is. Seriously? How boring. Is it just me, or does it seem like Sarah has the wrong idea of what it means to live in the countryside? Oh, look what I found here! Sarah, you can't just pick other people's vegetables from their farms. Those aren't wild. You can't pick them. What? But isn't it the custom in the countryside to share the vegetables and produce you make on your farm? If our neighbors are going to give them to us later anyway, why can't we just hurry the process up by picking them for ourselves now? What? No, you simply can't. Those are precious produce that are going to be sold. Could it be that Sarah has absolutely no idea how things work out here in the countryside? I guess I really have my work cut out for me then. All the vegetables on people's farms are precious produce. If this were a supermarket and you just took the vegetables out of the shop without paying for them, then that would mean you stole them, right? It's the exact same here, so please be careful and don't take other people's vegetables from their farms without their permission. Fine. I hope Sarah understands about this now. Well, I'll be off then. Bye!
I wonder why this is happening now.
Something like this has never happened to us before. What's the matter?
We had some of our produce stolen.
What? They were going to be sent out soon, though.
It's not only our produce, though. Other households have also apparently had their produce stolen.
So we have a thief among us? What can we do to keep them out?
Some people have put up signs or fences.
I guess a thief wouldn't really care to read what a sign says, though.
It's not just that they stole from us, but they also ruined the farmland in the process of doing so. If this continues, who knows just how much money the farms around here will end up losing.
This has never happened before. I never thought that something like this could happen in our peaceful neighborhood. That's true, though. We never had any issues with people stealing anything around here. Could it be that the culprit is Sarah? I'm not 100% sure yet, but I might have an idea on who's stealing the produce around here.
What? Who do you think it might be?
Remember the other day you briefly saw our new neighbor, Sarah?
That lady that didn't bring us any gifts?
Oh, come on. That wasn't such a big deal. Forget about it already. Anyway, a while ago when I was showing her around, she tried to pick other people's vegetables from their farm. I stopped her that day, but
If it's her, then she really didn't listen to what you said to her.
people have realized that their produce is going missing. Only after Sarah moved in, right? I can't seem to shake the feeling that it might be her.
True. It seems like she's the likely culprit, but we have no hard evidence now. Oh, how about we put some surveillance cameras on our farm?
With that, we decided to put up cameras in the middle of the farm. Maybe the thief realized this, and as a result, they stayed away from our farm, but not others. They still kept stealing from the farms that didn't have any high-tech protection of any sort.
Whatever shall we do? Farms are large, so it's not like we can all put cameras in the whole of the farming land we have here in the neighborhood. And just imagine the cost of that.
What should we do? Oh, hey, Heather. I'm so happy to see you. Come in. Me too. Thank you. Person that's closest to Sarah in this neighborhood right now is me, so she shouldn't find it suspicious that I wanted to come over to her place. This is my daughter, Natura. Her name comes from the word nature. Wow, that's quite the unique name, I must admit. That's such a cool name. Nice to meet you. Good for me I didn't blurt out my thoughts this time.
Nice to meet you, old lady.
Old lady? Heather, you should have brought Mary with you. Then her and Natura could have played together. Well, today I actually came over thinking we could have a serious talk. As you may know, some of the produce from the farms around here are being stolen recently. Huh? Actually, I didn't know that that was happening. I'm guessing it's nothing serious. Probably just some wild animals that got into the farms and ate the vegetables. Sarah, if you don't mind me asking, what's with all the vegetables you have in your kitchen there? There's a lot there. Oh, these? My neighbor so kindly gave them to me. I'm so happy that the people here are so friendly and kind enough to help me out. Around here, we're used to giving vegetables to our neighbors, but as an unspoken rule, it's common sense for them to give other vegetables back to their neighbors that gave us vegetables, as a way to say thank you. But Sarah doesn't have her own farm, so I'm guessing she hasn't been giving vegetables back to the neighbors who'd been giving her vegetables. Oh, by the way, Heather, now that I think about it, I still haven't received any vegetables from your family yet. Well, we are dealing with the robberies, so we didn't have time to do so yet. In all honesty, I don't want to have to give her anything, not that I can say that to her face. My other neighbors gave me so many vegetables, but I guess you must be so stingy, Heather. I'm not stingy. Me and my family are trying to get to the bottom of the robberies, and that's our #1 priority at this moment. That's all. Be careful out there, Sarah. I'll be off then. From all those vegetables in her kitchen and the way she wanted me to give her more vegetables, I'm sure she's the person that's been stealing from the farms around here. She's not going to get away with this. Troublebusters.
This sign should be good for now.
Is this really going to work?
Hi there, Aaron. What's going on here? We just put the sign up here. Hopefully to stop the thief who's been stealing the vegetables from the farms around here.
We also planted pufferfish in this tomato field.
Oh, that sounds so dangerous, though. That's true. The tomatoes here will end up absorbing the poison from the pufferfish, so then we'll be able to find the culprit that's been stealing from the farms. But we've also put this sign up so anyone in their right mind shouldn't be trespassing and picking the tomatoes here. Oh, that sounds horrible for the thief if they do pick these tomatoes, but deserved.
We'll obviously be telling all the farmers around here of our plan, so as not to potentially injure any innocent person. So please do your best to avoid this tomato field here.
Got it. Of course.
I wonder what's going to happen now. Oh no, the tomatoes are gone!
The sign's still intact, though. Did the person just ignore it and pick the tomatoes?
We should let everyone else know about what happened here. We let all of our neighbors know what had happened with the poisoned tomatoes and told them not to touch them if they came into contact with them at any point later. The next day, we were caught off guard. You murderer! Why are you here so early in the morning?
We haven't even had breakfast yet.
Are you the one that gave my wife those poisoned tomatoes?
What are you on about?
Stop pretending like you don't know what I'm talking about. Yesterday, you dropped off tomatoes for us as a gift, didn't you?
What? I didn't drop off anything as a gift yesterday.
Stop lying! With the tomatoes you gave us, Sarah made us dinner and we ate them last night. Because of that, we all became very sick.
What kind of symptoms did you have?
The whole of last night, we couldn't stop vomiting and running to the bathroom. I swear, during last night alone, I must have lost 5 kilograms.
I'm so jealous. I want to lose 5 kilograms just like that.
Oh, come on, Heather. That's saying too much.
Luckily for us, we felt better within a few hours, so it wasn't anything critical. But do you have any idea just how horrible it all was?
I guess we feel bad for you that you had to go through that. But we have nothing to do with what happened to you. After all, we didn't give you any gifts. Not even those tomatoes yesterday.
But I heard from a farmer that you had planted pufferfish in your tomato field, and we must have ended up eating those. How evil could you both be?
How dare you do such a thing to us? You pretended to be nice to me and then you poisoned us out of nowhere. How many times do I have to tell you? I didn't give you any gifts at all. Ever. You liar, you gave me those tomatoes and told me to enjoy them yesterday. I didn't have time to do such a thing. After all, I was busy yesterday letting everyone else in the neighborhood know that the poisoned tomatoes had been stolen. It took all day for me to talk to everyone. I didn't even have the time to gift anyone anything, even if I wanted to.
Oh, really?
Of course Heather's lying. She's just saying whatever will make her sound like she's the victim in all of this, not us.
May I just point out, if your whole family did indeed ingest the poison of pufferfish, you all wouldn't have survived it.
Also, the poison of a pufferfish would have been broken down in the soil of the farm before it actually got into the tomatoes. So it actually isn't possible that the tomatoes from that field were poisonous due to the poison of the pufferfish.
Honestly, if you'd used your common sense, then you'd know that.
Not to add, it would near be impossible for a normal person like me to even get my hands on a poisonous pufferfish like that in the first place. If only you'd given it some thought, you would have known that such a ridiculous thing as poisonous tomatoes couldn't be easily grown here. Then how do you explain my family all becoming sick from eating those tomatoes?
Some of our tomatoes aren't ripe and ready to be consumed yet. You know that tomatoes that aren't ripe actually contain some poison?
Oh, what are you talking about? Tomatoes that aren't ready to be consumed yet contain a chemical called tomatine. In most cases, it's not strong enough for one to lose their life over having consumed it, but it can make people feel unwell. It sounds as though your family may have ingested that.
Now that I think about it, some of the tomatoes from yesterday did look a little green and not ripe.
Then you all must have gotten sick from having had consumed tomatine.
Sarah, did you really feed us tomatoes that weren't ready for human consumption?
Well, I thought that they were just some special green tomatoes. You know, they're like yellow and black tomatoes too sometimes. Anyway, how was I supposed to know that they'd be dangerous to eat? You constantly go around talking about wanting to lead a low-huzz lifestyle, yet you don't know much about the basics of vegetables, do you? Getting back to the main problem here, though the tomatoes weren't poisoned with pufferfish poison, it still doesn't change the fact that you gave me tomatoes that were dangerous for us to consume. Seriously? How many times do I have to tell you I never gave you anything yesterday? No gifts, nothing.
You really want to make Heather the bad one in this situation, don't you? Then I guess we have no choice but to check the surveillance footage from the camera we put up in the tomato field.
What are you going on about? There wasn't a camera in the tomato field. Stop with all the lies, both of you.
I guess you didn't notice, but we actually secretly put a camera in the scarecrow in the tomato field.
What? Wait a second. Why did you just say just now that there wasn't a camera? That implies that you went there and didn't see one. That's the only way you would have been able to come to that conclusion. You pretty much just outed yourself just now.
Sarah?
The reason why we lied and told everyone that we had laced our tomato field with pufferfish poison was because we thought that would stop the thief from targeting the field.
And we thought that if the thief still stole from there, and thought that they had consumed pufferfish poison from the tomatoes, then they might have the decency to repent and come apologize to us.
But it seems as though on top of being the culprit, you've absolutely no intention of apologizing to us for what you've done. If we check the camera and find out it was you who stole them from the field, then I'll have no choice but to call the police on you.
Did you really steal those tomatoes from that field?
I'm so sorry. I just had a moment of confusion and I took those tomatoes from the field. Are you sure it was just a moment? After all, if you're the culprit behind all of the robberies, then you've been having too many moments of confusion. Well, I was under the impression that everyone in the countryside shares their produce, but no one would give me anything. So what am I supposed to do?
That's because we have a trading system here. There's no way people would give you the precious produce they grew if you weren't willing to give anything back to them.
But people around here make so much produce. I wouldn't even make much of a difference if they just gave us some. I'm trying to do my best out here to save money. They could have helped me. And after all, I didn't even take a lot, so what's the problem?
If you calculate the total cost of all the produce that you ended up stealing from everyone, it would easily amount to our loss of hundreds of dollars.
Farming is not volunteer work, so when a farmer gifts you with produce, you have to give them something back. First of all, you need to understand the importance of produce grown here and the hard work of the respective farmer. And if you can't even understand those things, there's no way that anyone would be willing to part ways with their precious produce for you. But I thought I'd be able to save money by moving out here. It can't be that that's not the case. Everyone here is so stingy. How dare you say that? You'd better be ready to pay us all back for all the precious produce you stole from us. With that, our neighborhood farmers who had their produce stolen by Sarah all came together and filed a lawsuit against her to get their money back. It wasn't just all that she'd stolen from us, but also she'd ruined the fields in the process of doing so, and that she'd damaged some fences as well. The lawsuit against her detailed the cost of all of these offenses of hers. Because she'd stolen from so many farms, the total she ended up owing was over $200,000. $200,000? There's no way I'd owe you all that much money. I bet you're all exaggerating the price of everything just to make me pay you all more than I really ought to.
Are you still not ready to just give in and admit to all the bad things you've done so far?
Sarah's husband had had enough of her attitude towards her lawsuit, and as the result, he ended up divorcing her. As for our case, I handed over all the evidence I had on her to the police, and she was taken away by them. By this point, I'm sure she had enough of lying and pretending that she wasn't the bad person in all of this, and ended up finally admitting to all she'd done.
Finally, everything with Sarah and the robberies have been taken care of. And it seems as though her husband is no longer with her after all of this.
Well, it must be hard to stay with someone who not only does bad things, but also blatantly lies about having done so. Apparently, her husband moved away with their daughter.
She wanted to lead a low-has lifestyle, but in the end, all she ended up succeeding in was leading a dishonest lifestyle.
That's so true. She was going on so much about leading a sustainable and healthy lifestyle, yet she didn't even try to achieve either of those things. Instead, just created a commotion for other people. With that family gone, our neighborhood finally went back to being the peaceful place we all knew it to be. A year went by after everything went down to Sarah. Sometimes everything that happened a year ago still comes up in conversation. It's so peaceful every day around here without Sarah and her family next door. It was as though the only reason they came here was to create chaos for the neighborhood.
I know for sure that everyone around here is glad that they're gone.
Excuse me, hello. May I have a word with you? Oh, hi there. You must be new around here. I haven't seen either of you around here before. Oh, well, nice to meet you. So you've moved here, have you? Yes. We brought the land over there and we're hoping to grow our own produce in order to live a more sustainable life.
We just came by to introduce ourselves, and also to give you this gift.
Wow, thank you so much. We brought you a collection of environmentally friendly detergents to use around the house. I hope you'll make good use of them. Thank you so much. I can't wait to use them.
It must have been a big decision for you two to move all the way out here.
Well, you see, I actually have a hunting license, so I was hoping to make more use of it out here as well. I believe I can use it in order to become an asset for this neighborhood and to help protect it.
Wow, that sounds like a great plan for all of us here.
It's true that we've been having some difficulties because of a sudden increase of wildlife around here recently.
I guess we can now rely on our skills to protect our produce.
I'm sure you'll be able to protect us from all sorts of scary and dangerous animals.
We'd like to give you these vegetables as our way of saying thank you and welcome to this neighborhood.
Oh, this is too much. We can't possibly accept all of this in return. Don't think twice about it. After all, we're all here to help each other out.
If I do end up having to hunt animals to protect the farms around here, then I'll make sure to bring you all some of the meat we acquire in return.
We've also made a smokehouse on our land in order to cure food in. That sounds great. I'm sure you'll get good use out of it. The new couple that moved in next door to us seem like they're genuinely kind and honest people. I hope we'll become good friends. Troublebusters.